Hey, 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 you're waking up with Craig.
Happy Christmas Eve. Let's get right to it so you can get to your family events today. Our morning quote: losing feels worse than winning feels good. Vin Scully. Some teams lost yesterday, some teams won. Some matter, some don't. Let's get to the ones that do. Looking at the AFC, the Chiefs are the 1, Pats are the 2, Texans 3, Ravens 4, Chargers 5, and the Colts, surviving late, move into the 6th spot. However, the Titans control their destiny as well as the Colts. They will play each other Sunday Night Football, Week 17. The Steelers do not. They have an easy game against the Bengals, but they need help from the Ravens. And I'll tell you why I think they might just get it. In the NFC, the Saints are the 1, Rams 2, 3 Bears, 4 Cowboys, 5 Seahawks, Vikings 6, Eagles just outside, but they survived with the win against the Texans. They need some help, and I don't think they're going to get it. I think the Vikings are going to win at the Bears. A little biased, but at the same time, I think they might. But let's get right to the games. The Titans stay alive, 25-16 versus the Redskins. The Redskins, it's sad what happened to them this year. You had 2 quarterbacks go down with gruesome injuries. Then you had Sanchez even go down, and you're down to Josh Jackson at this point. It's sad, but it's the reality of it. And I hope Alex Smith, Sanchez, they all get better, but I just don't think the Redskins are very good right now. And they were a playoff team. They really look good. Adrian Peterson looked good, but they need to get some weapons on the outside. The Titans, however, look good. They really do. Their defense is playing well. Derrick Henry is running the ball well. Mariota is playing good enough. Vrabel has that defense going. I think the Titans could get into the playoffs, especially since Week 17 is at home. The Ravens have control, winning 22-10 versus Chargers. This is the biggest shock, the biggest upset of the week to me. The Chargers were in Los Angeles, and yes, their home crowd isn't great, but yet it's a home game. And I thought the Chargers were the hottest team right now. I thought they were playing well, but they lose a tough one to the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson has that team rolling. And part of me likes the Ravens getting in, but at the same time, they do have a tough matchup Week 17 against the Browns. The Browns are not a bad football team, and they're playing well right now. And for not winning many games, they're at 6 or 7 wins. They want to get to as many wins as possible. The Colts control their fate after a late comeback, 28-27 against the Giants. I watched that game. It was bad all the way through. They started to turn on the Jets late. T.Y. Hilton is a weapon. He is an essential weapon. I don't know why I'm not drafting him in fantasy in some leagues, but he is a weapon. Andrew Luck also really should be considered for the MVP. He is at least a top 5 at this point. He has played great this year. That defense is playing a lot better, and I like what I see from the Colts. I like them by maybe 2 points or 3 points in that Titans game, but at the same time, Titans are playing well, and it's in Tennessee. The Cowboys clinched 27-20 versus the Bucs. Yeah, they clinched the division. In the NFC East, though, it's not that tough, although it was better this year with the Eagles coming on late, Giants, whatever, and the Redskins played a lot better at the start of the year. But to me, the Cowboys are they're hit or miss. I think they could win at home. I think they could beat the Seattle or the Vikings. If Seattle loses, Vikings win, or whatever it is, Eagles. But I just don't think that they have enough to make a run. I don't think they can score enough points. But they could win a home game. They could control the ball with Zeke. But that's about as far as I see them getting. Vikings in control after 27-9 win over the Lions. Kevin Stefanski is doing a lot better. He was a quarterback coach, now the OC. He's controlling the offense better, giving more run plays. It's more balanced. Kirk isn't throwing it 45, 50 times a game. And the defense is playing a lot better. The defense is holding teams to under 10 points, under 20 points. And Kirk Cousins in this offense should easily get over 20 every game. I like them at home against the Bears just because it is at home. If it was in Chicago and they needed this win, I wouldn't think they would get it. I think in Chicago is too tough. But it's win or go home most likely. I don't think the Eagles will lose to the Redskins. You control your own fate. Kirk Cousins, this is why they paid you. After all the crap you've heard this year, now's your time to prove them wrong. Eagles stay alive after 32-30 win versus the Texans. Nick Foles magic, I'll tell you. It's coming. It's here, actually. I just think it might be too late because I think the Vikings are going to win. But if they don't, and Nick Foles gets you into the playoffs, Eagles, you have to start Nick Foles over Carson Wentz. Nick Foles is playing a great game right now. Over 400 yards yesterday, 3 or 4 touchdowns, whatever it was, only 1 pick. He played great. That throw he had to Aguilar on the 83-yard touchdown was a dime. The Eagles are rolling right now, and they're for real alive. The Saints clinch home field, 31-28 versus Steelers. That's huge because I don't think anyone's going into New Orleans and beating the Saints. I think the Saints are the best team in the NFL, without a doubt. And, they just have so many weapons. It's unbelievable. And Drew Brees is a top 5 quarterback of all time. He is. There's not even a question anymore. And what he has done for New Orleans is truly, truly amazing. Seattle back to the dance after a 38-31 win versus the Chiefs. Seattle's going to make some noise in the playoffs. And Cowboys, I think, could win at home, and I think that's who they're going to play. I think Seattle beats the Cowboys. And honestly, they would give New Orleans or the Rams, even the Bears, whoever it is in that next round, a run for their money. I really, really, really think they would. Seattle is a good football team, and Russell Wilson, I didn't like him for a while, but what he's doing in Seattle with what he has is unbelievable. That deep ball he threw to Lockett yesterday and the one-handed catch by Doug Ball. What they're doing is truly amazing, and the running game is really coming alive. I also like their defense. You'll say 31 points, but against the Chiefs, and some of it was garbage points at the end of the game, just playing soft coverage. But it's no secret. As we get closer to the playoffs, my favorite holiday is coming up. Black Monday. The coaching carousel is about to begin. And we're going to find out which coaches are getting fired and which coaches are getting hired. I'm looking at it, and we could have the Buccaneers coach, Dolphins Adam Gase, the Jaguars, the Packers, the Browns, Ron Rivera, Vance Joseph, Todd Bowles, Steve Wilkes, and there's some other ones out there that we could see. The one that I think is a for sure lock to get fired is, it's got to be, to me, the Buccaneers at this point. Because what they've done is just back and forth. Between Fitzpatrick to Winston to Fitzpatrick back to Winston, it's a joke. It was horribly managed. The one to me that I think stays though is Greg Williams for the Browns. What they are doing, and I think Baker loves him. And to talk about Baker for a second, when he threw that touchdown or that huge deep pass, and he walked down the field looking backwards like this, staring down Hugh Jackson, staring him down. That takes guts. That man has a set of balls, I'll tell you that right now. He is a complete baller. Baker Mayfield and the Browns, they could be a playoff team next year. They really, really could. But Steve Wilkes is probably gone. Todd Bowles is probably gone. Speaking of Todd Bowles, though, the Jets are ready to pay Jim Harbaugh. They really are. And I think it's coming. I don't know if Jim will leave Michigan. I really don't. I think he has a good setup there. But especially with Urban Meyer gone, I think they can beat Ohio State now. But the Jets and some other teams, the Broncos, teams like that, they are ready to pay Jim Harbaugh. I'm very interested to see what they do there. I think he's a good coach. I think he should be back in the pros. He's one of those elite coaches. But we'll see. But, man, if I'm a Packers fan, I wish Nick Saban would leave Alabama. I don't think he will. I really don't. I think he has the dream job. He has the greatest setup in the world. But if you're the Packers, I'm personally flying Aaron Rodgers down to Tuscaloosa and walking into Nick Saban's house, knocking on the door, and I need you to come with me back to Green Bay. Nick Saban and Aaron Rodgers would be a deadly, deadly duo. Before we go, Broncos at Raiders tonight. Who really cares? Nobody. This means nothing. The Raiders, they have been out since week 2. The Broncos, they've shown glimpses of hope, but yet trading away Thomas, Sanders getting hurt. Who's your number one? Case Keenum. Sutton? Come on. Case Keenum has played better, though, down the stretch. Vance Joseph has a lot on the next 2 games, though. If he wants to save his job, go beat the Raiders tonight, and then whoever it is you play next. The Chiefs, the Chargers, one of the 2. Whoever it is, you beat them, you might save your job. But because you play one of those 2 teams, Vance Joseph, see you later. You'll probably get another job somewhere. It might not be a head coaching job, but we'll see. That's a tough division. Chargers, Chiefs, that is tough division. And who sees what the Raiders do down the stretch in the next few years with all these draft picks? If I'm Vance Joseph, I might want to get out of there and start somewhere new. But that's all we have today. Short episode, Christmas Eve. Have a great time with your family. Let your family know that you appreciate them. Enjoy gifts. Enjoy some food with your family. And just enjoy time with your family. Tomorrow, Christmas Day, we will have a show. Coach Jip and Storm, my brother, is going to be back on the show. If you have any comments, questions you'd like me to ask them or talk about, leave it on. We will break down the college playoffs. We know Coach Gibson's going to pick Notre Dame. Let's see how Storm feels about that. Reacts. Thank you for listening. Have a safe holiday. Have a great holiday. Happy Christmas Eve to everybody. And remember, keep